Hello, my name is Catherine Smith and I am an Indiana State University nursing student in the LPN to BSN program, and I will be discussing childhood obesity. The PAR, or the population at risk, are children and adolescents aged 2 to 19 years of age. Learning objectives. You, the learner, will understand the state of the current obesity epidemic, will list causes for the growing obesity numbers in the United States, will identify the risks and other health problems of being overweight or obese, will describe interventions to help fight the obesity epidemic, and will be able to use the resources to help educate. Please pause the video for a brief pretest. Click on the link below or go to this address. Childhood obesity is not only an issue in the United States, it is a global issue. Both the World Health Organization and Healthy People 2020 considered childhood obesity as one of the most serious public health challenges of the 21st century. Although the definition for obesity and overweight has changed over time, currently is defined by using cut points of body mass index, or BMI. BMI does not measure body fat directly, and the relationship between BMI and body fat varies by sex, age, and race. For children and adolescents, the definition is statistical and is based on a comparison to reference populations by sex and age. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention defines overweight in children and adolescents as between 85 to 95 percentile in the BMI for sex and age, and obesity as at or above the 95 percentile of body mass index for sex and age. Most of the world's population live in countries where overweight and obesity kills more than people underweight. 38 million children under the age of 5 were overweight or obese in 2019. Over 340 million children and adolescents aged 5 to 19 were overweight or obese in 2016. Childhood obesity has reached epidemic levels in developed as well as developing countries. Childhood obesity is a serious problem in the United States, putting children and adolescents at risk for poor health. Obesity prevalence among children and adolescents is high. In a recent study published by the CDC, children and adolescents aged 2 to 19 years of age, the prevalence of obesity was 18.5% and affected about 13.7 million children and adolescents. Obesity prevalence was 13.9% among 2 to 5 years olds, 18.4% for 6 to 11 year olds, and 20.6% for 12 to 19 years old. In that same CDC study, they found that childhood obesity is also more common among certain populations. 25.8% of Hispanic children and adolescents and 22% of non-Hispanic blacks having the highest obesity prevalence in the U.S. Non-Hispanic whites have a 14.1% obesity prevalence. Non-Hispanic Asians had the lowest obesity prevalence in the United States at 11%. So what are the consequences of obesity in childhood? Overweight and obesity in childhood are known to have significant impact on both physical and psychological health. Overweight and obese children are likely to stay obese into adulthood and more likely to develop non-communicable diseases. Obesity in childhood is associated with a wide range of serious health complications and an increased risk of premature onset of illnesses. Obese children are more likely to develop a variety of health problems as adults. These include cardiovascular disease, mainly heart disease and stroke, insulin resistance, often an early sign of impending diabetes, and renal disorders, musculoskeletal disorders, especially osteoarthritis, neurological disorders, pulmonary issues, and some cancers, including endometrial, breast, ovarian, prostate, and colon, to name a few. Hypertension and psychological health. Without intervention, these obese and overweight children will likely continue to be obese during childhood, adolescence, and into adulthood. So what are the contributors to obesity in childhood? The mechanism of obesity development is not fully understood, and it is believed to be a disorder with multiple causes. Environmental factors, lifestyle preferences, and cultural environment play a pivotal role in the rising prevalence of obesity worldwide. And generally, overweight and obesity are assumed to be the result of an increase in caloric and fat intake. On the other hand, there's supporting evidence that excessive sugar intake by soft drink, use of high fructose corn syrup, an increased portion size, and the steady decline in physical activity have been playing major roles in the rising rate of obesity all around the world. Technology plays a vital role and has a major impact on the mounting obesity pandemic in the United States. The effects of technology on obesity is seen especially in children. The American Academy of Pediatrics suggests that children ages 2 and younger should have no screen time, and all other children should have limited screen time. In a study of children under the age of 5 by the University of Washington, they found that 66% of children in the U.S. exceed the recommended screen time limit. That same study mentioned that these children spent on average 4 hours a day using technology. 90% of that time was while the child is at home. And as the child reaches adolescence, the amount of screen time rocketed to 7.5 hours per day. Further research suggests that screen time can be linked to the growing increase of obesity among children and adolescents. Research has found that children are exercising less, mostly due to the increase in screen time. Screen time is not the only technology attributed to the increase of obesity in the United States. Technological changes in the food industry also play a part on both the supply side with improved agriculture innovations and on the demand side as consumers choose fast, cheap food options. Per the World Health Organization, many low and middle income areas are now facing a double burden. It is not uncommon to find undernutrition and obesity coexisting within the same country, the same community, and the same household, partly due to many living in areas considered food deserts due to limited access of affordable fresh foods. Children in low and middle income families are more vulnerable to inadequate prenatal, infant, and young child nutrition. At the same time, these children are exposed to high fat, high sugar, high salt, energy dense, micronutrient poor foods, which tend to be lower in cost but also lower in nutrient quality. These dietary patterns, in conjunction with lower levels of physical activity, result in sharp increases in childhood obesity, while undernutrition issues remain unsolved. The key to keeping kids of all ages at a healthy weight is taking a whole family approach. Make healthy eating and exercise a family affair. Kids should be involved in helping plan, shop, and prepare healthy meals. Don't reward kids for good behavior or try to stop bad behavior with sweets or treats. Find other ways to change behavior. Don't have a clean plate policy. If kids are satisfied, don't force them into eating. Reinforce the idea that they should only eat when they're hungry. Don't talk about bad foods or completely ban all sweets and favorite snacks. Kids may rebel and overeat forbidden foods outside the home or sneaking them in on their own. Serve healthy foods most of the time and offer treats once in a while. Start good health habits early. Help shape food preferences by offering a variety of healthy foods. Encourage kids' natural tendency to be active and help them build on developing skills. Encouraging kids to be physically active every day by keeping your kids active at home and everyday activities like playing outside or going on a family walk. Let them be more involved in making good food choices, such as packing a lunch. Teach your teens how to prepare healthy meals and snacks at home, encouraging them to make healthy choices when outside the home and to be active every day. All ages should cut down on TV, phone, computer, and video game time and discourage eating in front of a screen. Serve a variety of healthy foods and eat family meals together as often as possible. Encourage kids to eat breakfast every day, have at least 5 servings of fruit and vegetables daily, and limit sugar-sweetened beverages. Here are some additional resources. They are also included on the handout. This concludes my presentation. Please take the post test, click on the link below, or go to the address at the bottom of the screen. And thank you for watching.